So we watched it live. That update on the unimaginable tragedy unfolding in Texas. Officials gave that update at the top of the hour. And now the latest death count. At least 89 people are dead after unprecedented flash flooding. Another 41 remain unaccounted for. And as one of the officials said in the update last hour, that's what they know. The unknown is where there are other people that they haven't even been told are missing. The mayor of Kerrville, Texas, where the bulk of the storm hit, said it's going to be a tough week. Officials say more torrential rain is on the way. And over the weekend, what we saw was heartbreaking, apocalyptic. An entire home swept away by floodwaters that rose over 20 feet in minutes. Texas Senator Ted Cruz says more than 850 high water rescues have been conducted since the flooding began. And one Coast Guard rescue swimmer, Petty Officer 3rd Class Scott Ruskin, is being called a hero after he rescued 165 people. Ruskin joined Fox and Friends earlier today.
Yo, what is going on in this world? Texas getting massive floods? Like, what the heck? I don't think I've ever heard that in 33 years of living. Like, that's wild.
Even as a professional rescuer, I was nervous about getting in the water. I can't imagine how 8, 9, 10-year-olds, like, these kids are heroic. Like, they need to get the credit they're getting that they need. They like, some of the camp counselors were saving lives before we even got there. So, I mean, without those guys, it would be a lot worse situation. It's still very tragic. But I think there definitely needs to be a lot of heroism, praise to the survivors. They were saving themselves.
This is Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner, here with my co-host Emily Campagno. Also joining us today, Kaylee McGee-White, Fox News contributor, Riley Gaines, host of Gaines for Girls and Outkick contributor, and Larry Kudlow, host of Kudlow on Fox Business. Let's go straight to Christina Coleman, who is live for us in Kerrville, Texas. Christina.
Hi, Harris. Yes, this is just an absolutely tragic situation as rescue efforts continue after this swift floodwaters swept through this area. I mean, just go ahead and take a look at that debris there behind me. You can see all of it crushed and mangled there. Cars, heavy machinery. And if you go ahead and take a look further, you could see this tree branch that is bent over. That is how high the water got to during that heavy flooding. And take a look at this. You can see some of the widespread devastation, more vehicles that were swept through the water, trees knocked over. All of this left after the unprecedented flooding here in the Hill Country. Rain pounded this area early Friday morning, triggering a surge in the Guadalupe River. It rose at least 26 feet in less than an hour. Authorities just confirmed in a briefing that crews have recovered 75 bodies here in Kerr County alone, including 48 adults and 27 children. Meantime, crews continue to work around the clock during this massive search and rescue operation.
They're running into a lot of technical challenges with terrain, with water, even potentially, with weather, in the rising fields.
10 campers and one camp counselor are missing from nearby Camp Mystic. The Christian camp released a statement saying, quote, Camp Mystic is grieving the loss of 27 campers and counselors following the catastrophic flooding on the Guadalupe River. They say their hearts are broken alongside the families that are enduring this unimaginable tragedy. They say they are praying for them constantly. Yesterday, President Donald Trump signed a major disaster declaration for this area to help those impacted by this historic flooding. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the president is committed to using all the resources that the federal government needs to help unify families, rescue all missing victims, and help folks displaced by the catastrophic flooding. And Texas Senator Ted Cruz says he spoke with the president about this situation as well. Take a listen.
The president said, Ted, anything Texas needs, the answer is yes. Whatever assets you need, whatever resources you need, yes, let us know, and we will provide everything. Within hours, we had helicopters, over a dozen helicopters in the air. National Guard, DPS, game wardens, Coast Guard, doing search and rescue, reaching down.
Look, you're not actually going to get anything done by watching another YouTube video. In fact, you're literally only procrastinating more. What you need is something I like to call a GYST week. That stands for Get Your Together Week. Because let's face it, you need to. All right, so what does it actually look like to dedicate an entire week to just tackling everything that we've procrastinated in one fell swoop? That means finances, folding laundry, calling your mom back, personal projects, you name it. Life would be so much easier if we could just get everything done and out of the way for good. Does all that sound overwhelming? It's because it probably is. But here's the secret.
And again, they are working around the clock. There's been at least 850 high water rescues in this area since Friday, and more rain is expected here over the next few days. And of course, we will continue to keep an eye on that and all of the developments as the search and rescue operations continue. Harris?
Christina, the water still looks really high. I mean, I know that we were waiting for waters to recede before more rain potentially comes, but wow, thank you so very much. You know, Larry, there are no perfect words. I've struggled today with what to even say. And when you hear Senator Ted Cruz and Representative Buddy Carter, whose daughters were rescued by one of those very heroic rescuers, you realize, yeah, being at a loss for words is right where we all are right now. Just prayer.
That's right. I think the best thing anybody can do is prayer. Is exactly right. And we should be grateful. 850 high water rescues. That's, you know, as bad as the deaths of these kids in the camp, at least people were rescued. I think that's really important, and that's part of your prayer theme. What this chap, Scott Ruskin, did, rescuing 165 people, will go down as a remarkable achievement. Good for him, great for him, and great for the people that he rescued. You know, it seems like it's a once-in-a-100-year catastrophic event. And in many ways, we're simply powerless over this. We will do what we can. We will mobilize the local and the state and the federal. And there's no question about that. Everybody's on the stick. But what can you do with a 100-year catastrophe? I don't know. I don't have anything to add to it.
You know, I thought, Emily, it was just so touching watching Scott Raskin there call the little ones heroes who were willing to be rescued and jump into the water and just be brave for just a moment.
That's right. The petty officer also sort of deflecting any calls for him as a hero. He said, I'm just doing my job. And he said the acknowledgement goes to my entire team and the rest of the Coast Guard and the other 20 agencies we are working in concert with to rescue these young souls and the souls across the county. And just to underscore as well, I don't think I can ever, frankly, wrap my mind around how much, the amount of volume of the water, how high it truly was, 29 feet in 46 minutes. As the Kerrville city manager said earlier today, he said on a good day, it takes 45 minutes to even reach the camp, to reach Camp Mystic. Well, in 46 minutes,
look at that water
many of those young
moving.
angels were swept away. And when I think about the wherewithal of those young girls and the counselors in the camp,
And they just
writing the
stand there.
names
They get in your
of the
car and
campers
drive
on their
by.
skin so they could be identified when they're found. One of the counselors earlier today, she was 16, her name is Callie, and she said she wore her name tag on. She made sure to pin her name tag on. So she said, when they find my body, they'll know my name. And that amount of trauma that those young angels have gone through, I just can't wrap my brain around other than to be grateful that they knew Jesus. Because when I think about, I went to camp when I was 5 through 15. I worked at it. We didn't have electricity. And I was 2 weeks away, summer camp. I was safe there, and I felt safe because my big sis was there in a different cabin. And for all of these just young children, my heart just breaks for all of Texas and their families.
I read that
Yes.
the two kids that were best friends were holding their hands, and they were found dead holding their hands. That's just an incredible thing. Absolutely incredible thing. Prayer.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I didn't think this was going to be as sad as that. Like, that is wild, man. But keep Texas in your prayers. I don't even really know what to say about that one. That's wild. I mean, it is a catastrophic event, once in a lifetime type of situation, once in 100-year type of situation. But hey, man, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and man, keep Texas in your prayers. Hopefully, everything gets better for them. And as usual, be you, be true, let the universe do the rest, man. Have a good one.